Hello everyone, today we are going to cover chapter number 3 summary of Shreemadbhagwadgeeta, and chapter number 1 and 2 has already been covered in the previous video. So chapter number 3 starts like this, in which path of selfless service, Karma Yoga, is being told. So it starts like that. Arjun said, if you consider acquiring spiritual knowledge is better than working, then why do you want me to engage in this horrible war, O Krishna? You seem to confuse my mind by apparently conflicting words. Tell me decisively one thing by which I may attain the Supreme. The Supreme Lord said, in this world, O Arjun, a twofold path of spiritual discipline has been stated by me in the past. The path of self-knowledge for the contemplative introverts and the path of unselfish work, seva, karma yoga for all others. One does not attain freedom from the bondage of karma by merely abstaining from work. No one attains perfection by merely giving up work, because no one can remain actionless even for a moment if everyone is driven to action helplessly indeed by the forces of nature. The deluded ones who restrain their organs of action but mentally dwell upon the sense enjoyment are called hypocrites. Why one should serve others? One who controls the senses by a trained and purified mind and intellect and engages the organs of the action to selfless service is superior, O Arjun. Perform your obligatory duty, because working is indeed better than sitting idle. Even the maintenance of your body would be impossible without work. Human beings are bound by work that is not performed as a selfless service. Therefore, O Arjun, becoming free from attachment to the fruits of work, do your duty efficiently as a service to me. Brahma, the creator in the beginning, created human beings together with the selfless service, seva, sacrifice, and said, by seva or sacrifice of self-interest, you shall prosper, and seva shall fulfill all your desires. Help the celestial controllers, devas, with selfless service and they will help you. Thus, helping each other, you shall attain the supreme goal of human life. The celestial controllers, pleased by selfless service, will give you desired objects even without asking for it. One who enjoys the gift of celestials without offering them anything in return is indeed a thief. The righteous who eat the remnants of selfless service are freed from all sins, but the impious who cook food only for themselves without first offering to me or sharing with others, in truth, eat sin. The physical body of living beings is made up of and sustained by the food. Food is created by the God from 5 basic elements. God is pleased by the sacrifice of self-interest, the selfless philanthropic work, and blesses selfless persons. Selfless work or sacrifice is our duty. Duty is prescribed in the scriptures. The scriptures come from God. Thus, the all-pervading God is ever present in selfless service, seva. One who does not help to keep the wheel of creation in the motion by sacrificial duty and who rejoices sense pleasures only, that sinful person lives in vain, O Arjun. For a self-realized person who rejoices only with God, who is delighted with God and who is content with God, there is no duty. Such a person has no interest whatsoever in what is done or what is not done. A self-realized person does not depend on anybody except God for anything. Therefore, always perform your duty efficiently and without any attachment to the results. Because by doing work without attachment, one attains the Supreme Being. King Janak and others attained perfection or self-realization by selfless service, Karma Yoga alone. You should also perform your duty with a view to guide people and for universal welfare of the society. Whatever noble persons do, other follows. Whatever standard they set up, the world follows them. O Arjun, there is nothing in the 3 worlds, heaven, earth, and the lower regions, that should be done by me, nor there is anything that I should obtain, yet I engage in action. If I do not engage in action relentlessly, O Arjun, people would follow my path. These worlds would perish if I do not work, and I would be the cause of confusion and destruction of all these people. As the ignorant work, O Arjun, with attachment to the fruits of work, so the wise should work without attachment for the welfare of the society. The wise should not unsettle the minds of the ignorant who are attached to the fruits of the work, but should inspire others by performing all the works efficiently without attachment to the results. All work is done by the energy and the power of the nature, but due to delusion of ignorance, people assume themselves to be the doer and thus incur sin and karmic bondage. One who knows the truth, O Arjun, about the role of the forces of nature and work does not become attached to the work, knowing very well that it is the forces of the nature that work with the instruments of our organs. Those who are deluded by the illusive power, Maya of nature, become attached to the work done by the forces of nature. The wise should not disturb the mind of the ignorant whose knowledge is imperfect. Do your duty, dedicating all the work to me in a spiritual frame of mind free from desire, attachment, and mental grief. Those who always practice this teaching of mine with faith, sincerity, and free from complaint are freed from the bondage of the karma. But those who carp at my teaching and do not practice it should be considered ignorant of all the knowledge, senseless and lost. All beings follow their nature. Even the wise act according to their own nature. What then is the value of sense restraint? Likes and dislikes for sense objects remain in the senses. One should not come under the control of these two, because they are indeed two major stumbling blocks on one's paths of self-realization. One's inferior natural work is better than superior unnatural work. Death in carrying out one's natural work is useful. Unnatural work produces too much stress. Arjun said, O Krishna, what impels one to commit sin as if unwillingly and forced against one's will? The Supreme Lord said, it is lust or intense desire for material and sensual pleasures, born out of passion, that becomes anger when unfulfilled. Lust is insatiable and is great devil. Knowing this as an enemy, as the fire is covered by the smoke, as a mirror by the dust, and as an embryo by the amnion, similarly self-knowledge becomes obscured by the lust. O Arjun, self-knowledge becomes covered by these insatiable fire of lust, the eternal enemy of the wise. The senses, the mind, and the intellect are said to be the seat of the lust. Lust, by controlling the senses, the mind, and the intellect, deludes a person by veiling self-knowledge. Therefore, O Arjun, by controlling the senses first, kill this devil of material desire that destroy self-knowledge and self-realization. How to control the lust? Then, O Krishna, the senses are said to be superior to the body, the mind is superior to the senses, the intellect is superior to the mind, and spirit is superior to the intellect. Thus, knowing the spirit to be superior to the intellect and controlling the mind by the intellect that is purified by the spiritual practices, one must kill this mighty enemy, lust, O Arjun. So friends, here our chapter number 3 summary of Shreemadbhagwadgeeta ends. I hope you like that video, and if you like it, please share it with your friends and subscribe to the channel. So in the next video we will be going to cover chapter number 4, which talks about the path of renunciation with the self knowledge. Okay ji, Jai Shri Krishna.